We're at a very exciting stage here at the new Sunshine Coast International Airport runway. The movement of sand from the Spitfire Channel here to the side of the new runway has been completed well ahead of time. The River Nile has been going back and forward between the Spitfire Channel in Moreton Bay and here at the airport. The 1.3 approximately million cubic metres of sand has been placed here on the runway site, and that really has been done with a minimum of fuss. Had we relied on trucks to do this, it would have been 350 truck movements a day, one every 1.7 minutes, for 12 months. This project using the River Nile has been completed in a little over 6 weeks.
What they've done now is delivered all of the sand we need for the full length of the runway embankment. It has been delivered all to the northwestern end of the runway. That keeps it away from the national park because we're using salt water to bring it ashore. Once the salt water is drained from it, a certain amount of that they will commence reworking back up the site, rehandling. But what you see out here behind us now, most of that will remain for about the next 6 months while it compresses the clays beneath the runway. The clays beneath us here are about 8 metres deep, and they're marine clays, and they will consolidate over time. If we didn't put a loading on them now and force that consolidation more quickly, we'd end up with bumps in the runway, just like we have bumps in the motorway adjacent to us here. The water that comes ashore is basically pure salt water. It's sucked in by the massive pumps on the Nile River out off Markula. It is then liquefies the sand to bring it ashore. The dredge pumps something of the order of 3 cubic metres of sand and 6,000 litres of water every second. The water then is held to allow any sediment in the water to drop to the bottom, and then the clear salt water off the top is then allowed back out into the Markula drain, which connects to the Maroochy River and ultimately back out to sea. The water is saltier than is in the Maroochy River, but the amount of it is so small that it has minimal impact. We have real-time loggers in the river recording that as the water is released, and they're not indicating any spikes in salinity. It's got to bear in mind that the water we release into here is about 1% of the tidal prism that flows in and out of the Maroochy River twice a day.
Over the next few days, we'll see the pipe that carried the sand from the dredge to the runway be removed, and that will require a closure between beach access 110 and 113 for about 48 hours.
The rehab work on the dunes is a work in progress at the moment, but certainly we'll be using the same vegetation types that were removed from the dune in the first place, and they're being grown out in nurseries and so forth. As far as the turtle nesting season is concerned, turtles are particularly sensitive to light spill, and we're currently looking at how we can put up some temporary screening until the vegetation reaches a level that is sufficient.
It really has been a momentous occasion to have had the River Nile and the John Holland team do such a good job. You know, minimal disturbance of our environment in doing what has been done, in getting the sand here, and now it's a matter of shaping the sand and indeed constructing the runway, which we should see open on this leg toward the end of next year. You know, we're doing things in this region that many people would have thought unheard of, but ultimately what we're trying to do is catch up and develop a really strong economy that gives the people of this region great opportunity in the future. And when you put together things like international access through an airport, international access through a submarine cable, a greenfield city centre, our own solar farm providing our own energy, and a great lifestyle region, we position ourselves very favourably for all sorts of people who would choose to live here almost rather than anywhere else in the country. And that's what I'm pleased about. And we obviously create lots of opportunity for all those people who are here now, particularly the youngsters coming through who, in years gone by would have had to leave the Sunshine Coast to find opportunity elsewhere.